Hello, beautiful souls. Hello, Soul Tribe here on YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Claudia Catarucci, the channel host. If you've been following me all along, you know we just wrapped up a series on your psychic abilities or your intuitive senses or your clairs, however you want to call it. And it was extraordinary because we're dealing in extraordinary times. So we need extraordinary tools. I'm on a mission to help you optimize your inner technology as an amazing human. Just as we have technology rising on one side, we will optimize our own human technology, our operating systems, and our psychic abilities are one of our operating systems. Your energy body helps you guide, text you, warns you, and connects you to others. And now we're going to use them for something completely different, a whole new terrain. And it's the terrain, the land of manipulation, distortion, and illusion. So I want you to get ready. We're going to travel a little bit to another land, a land that has its own culture, its own language, its own way of being, its own approach to life and to other humans. So welcome, my loves, to my new vlog series, The Narcissist Declassified, because knowing the game changes the game. Now, hold on. Let's do a little disclaimers here. I know some of you are saying, oh my God, not the topic of the narcissist again. You're bored with it. You're done with it. It's like that song that they play on repeat that you were mesmerized the first, second, third, 10th time that you heard it. But now you're just like, please stop playing that song. I get it. Let's just start there. Not narcissism again. I'm tired of hearing that word. Or maybe it's like people are just throwing it around too much and they're not clinically savvy about it. And I get it. I'm a clinical psychotherapist. So here's my take. We're not talking about trends. This isn't a trendy, light topic. We're talking about truths that unless we see them, we are devoured. Devoured. So it's not narcissism that's trending. Hear me out. It's not narcissism that's trending. It's the exposure to it. And yes, we want that to trend. We are in a decade where narcissism is being exposed all the way from family systems, from being in relationships, from the dating game with narcissists, to cults, to organizations, to cultures, to nations, to leadership. And that's my jam, is the all is in the small and the small is in the all. How do we take something that begins on an individual level and translates all the way out into the all? For the first time in human history, we have language for this. We are able to name it. And now we can track a modus operandi that has been running humanity for centuries. Humanity is tracking and naming the modus operandi, families to governments, from bedrooms to boardrooms. We are literally living through a collective reckoning right now. We are unmasking a global domination through emotional illiteracy, psychic illiteracy, and power abuse. And it's super, super, super messy. And it's going to get probably a little messier, but it's so necessary. And what's most necessary is for us to know what we're up against. So don't be fooled into thinking that this topic is overdone, boring, annoying, because every single day in my clinical practice, in my day-to-day office, is filled with people who carry the severe trauma of living under this epidemic of narcissism that humanity has normalized for centuries. So in this series, I will show you how it happens. I'm going to be a little clinical, but most of it is going to be how I usually do things, practical, portable, so that you can recognize it in your day-to-day life without the huge clinical titles. And most importantly, I'm going to share how we heal out of it. because that's our true activism, is healing. So I'd rather repeat this message until everybody knows it by heart, until we can recognize it and call it out, call out the game, see the script, have it be boring because we know it so well, rather than risking another entire generation staying silent and falling victims inside systems that thrive on emotional blindness and illiteracy. Watch everything I've done, all my books, my podcast, YouTube, everything has been meant for right now. So I'm not here to label. I'm not here to blame. I'm not here to gossip. By the way, that's everything the narcissist does in the land of narcissism. I'm here to free people of that haze, of those chains that I myself have broken and continue to break. Narcissism as a trait, a culture, and a collective psychological pattern is where psychology comes in, has shaped the way humanity operates. Yep. And I'd like to add my little grain of salt, mi granito de arena, as we say in Spanish, my little grain of sand, to the healing of it. It's how I want to contribute to changing humanity's algorithm. And boy, we're pushing hard. That algorithm is moving slowly, but here we go. So when we regulate our nervous systems, when we confront the shadow, when we know when to say no, when we know when to seek help and find community that is also healing, when we learn emotional and energetic literacy, we literally recode what the collective rewards. Man, it'll change the whole dating system. It will change the ways that we fall in love in the most beautiful, magical ways. Why? Because there'll be safety and we will feel trust. Our whole dating system is based on a foundation of mistrust. And who's to blame anyone? We've been under the collective shadow of narcissism. So in these series, The Narcissist Declassified, we're not just going to study personalities. We're going to deconstruct, or we're going to decode power approaches. So for those of you who've ever played the game Clue, get your little Clue hat on. We're actually going to try and understand power strategies. We're going to declassify and expose how this energy infiltrates relationships, workplaces, and entire systems. We're learning to recognize the game so we can stop playing by its rules. And that is no easy feat. So first, we got to learn about it. This series is going to weave together, as it always does, like my podcasts, a multidimensional approach. So we're going to weave together clinical psychology, emotional intelligence, psycho-spiritual insight, and my own personal lived experience. That's really where I'm going to add my power punches, is with my lived experiences, because I've been able to nuance some of the movements. And it's going to be my lived experience, but also multiple people that I've worked with and what I've noticed. And yeah, you're going to hear plenty of Claudisms, because Claudisms are a way for you to remember things quickly. Even though they're a little cheeky, you remember them because they're cheeky. And Claudisms, for those of you who are new to the channel, are colloquialisms, are our way of reframing something, of emotionally understanding something, just through my own slang, let's say, my own street talk. If you want to discover more of my Claudisms, go look at Claudisms on my channel. You'll see what I mean. So I try and translate complex truths and clinical truths into language that you can feel, you can resonate with, and use on a daily basis, practical and portable. In July, I launched the Empath Leader Transforming Humanity's Algorithm, and there's a lot about the narcissist in that book, because the empath and the narcissist are a plug-in socket until the empath heals. Launched that in July. But right now in November, a new book is out with my co-author, Grace Being, who lives in Spain, but we wrote this across the seas. We wrote it together, and it's called Healing from Narcissistic Abuse, Rebuild from Relationship relationship trauma and find your light again. Yes, and that's the purpose, is how do we find our light in a time that feels dark, dark with shadow? And by the way, narcissism always brings that vibe, that dark, heavy, hazy, confusing vibe. In the book, Grace shares her own survival story, and I come at it with a psycho-spiritual lens. I talk about what she's going through my own psycho-spiritual lens. You'll see. Go pre-order it on Amazon. The link is in the description. My last two podcasts have been Grace and I discussing the book, so go ahead and check those out as well. We're actually also starting a new YouTube channel called Healing from Narcissistic Abuse, and it's going to be linked in the channel, where we're going to have topics monthly where we're just going to discuss this so that people become more and more and more literate in this. So if you're a survivor, or you know people who have, or you're scared of what's happening on the planet these days, check out that channel. And this vlog series is also going to be maybe the warm up to the book and to that channel, just massaging in these ideas. So before we begin, I want you to remember engagement is activism. Remember, we're trying to slowly reverse this algorithm. And so it takes a lot of us to do that. Join me in just just pushing this algorithm by liking, sharing, commenting, having a conversation, subscribing, and ask other people to, so that we can just start doing this shift, especially right now. The more, the better. Let's move these conversations into spaces where it's most needed. And for those of you who are coming from other countries, I talk a lot about how in many cultures, narcissism is the way the culture works. And I know this because I'm Colombian. And so I've really tracked the way that some of our cultures have a narcissistic slant at best, or a narcissistic way of leading at worst. So if you're from another culture and listening to this, just educate yourself, okay? Just listen for now before moving into any action. But the action you can take is subscribe, like, share, comment. And you're more than welcome here. So we're cutting through the noise with strategy. And our strategy is awareness, consciousness. That's true in psychotherapy. The moment we become conscious of the patterns that we've got, psychological, emotional, and mental patterns that we have that sabotage us, we can then begin to reverse and be the creators of our lives. So that is true for the collective. The all is in the small is in the all, right, my loves? Memorize that. So our strategy is awareness, because when you know the game, you can choose. Remember my famous phrase, the freest human is the choosing human. Think about that. You can choose to stop playing by the rules of the game that you do not even want to be in. And that's how we build a new earth, a new humanity. We're going to kill it with how much we're going to know about what it means to optimize our beautiful, beautiful humanity, where what is really trending is healing. Listen to me. That's it. That's the name of my game, is healing. And when you heal yourself, you're healing the planet. Remember that. That's another one of my Claudisms, another one of my sayings. We're healing a whole generation, my loves, of people. Whole generation. Isn't that gorgeous? No more destruction, no more unconsciousness about these psychological patterns that have dominated the collective. So yeah, welcome to the vlog series, The Narcissist Declassified, where knowing the game changes the game. I'll see you tomorrow, where I'll be talking about the different types of narcissisms out there. And I'll talk to you a little bit about the clinical concept of narcissistic personality disorder. See you tomorrow.